What's going on, freelancers and draconians? Draco Invictus here with my thoughts on Anthem, talking a little bit about the game, what it's going to bring to the table as far as gameplay goes, missions and all the other things that you're going to be able to do in this game, talk about the type of game that it is, and then at the end I'm going to kind of talk about how I feel, am I going to pick up this game? What am I going to do with this game? Yada, yada, yada. So let's get to it. All right, everybody. So, like we talked about, Anthem is a looter shooter. That's what it is. It's a new game. If you've been living under a rock and don't know what Anthem is the newest game from BioWare. This is the game that they dropped everything else, including DLC for Mass Effect Andromeda, and put their entire team focus on Anthem. And this is what we're getting. Now, this is from the free play weekend demo that they offered that ends today, actually. And the game comes out towards the middle to end of February, depending on what version you buy, where you buy it, if you have certain extra, if you're part of EA Access Premier or something like that, then you get it earlier, or Origin Access. Anyway, they're releasing it in tiers, which, okay, I get it. Some people are paying extra every single month to be part of the Premier Club, so they get the game a little bit, it's like a week early. So, yeah, there's that. Anthem at its heart, like I said, is a looter shooter, and here's some of the issues that I have with Anthem, okay? It does have a storyline. It's not as RPG heavy as other BioWare titles, but this is a different game than other BioWare titles. So we have to look at it in its own regard. We can't compare it to other BioWare titles because this is a different genre of game in that it's not an RPG. It is a looter shooter. This is totally different from what we've seen from BioWare in the past. So, okay, we've got that. And then, like I said, there are story elements. There's some RPG. Do you want to be, happy-go-lucky, or do you want to be a hard-ass? It seems to me like those are the two branches that you can take. And there aren't a whole lot more options. It's RPG light, and it's very light in the RPG. Now, I will say this. Playing the demo was a lot of fun, and I had a lot more fun during the free demo than I did during the VIP demo. Now, I did not pre-order this game. I got a friend code from a buddy of mine, Alex, over on Twitter, and he got the access to the VIP demo, which was last weekend, and he gave me one of the friend codes. He had 3 friend codes to give out, and he gave me one of them so that I could play the game. And there were a lot of technical issues that bugged the game, and most all of them are 100% better this weekend. So you can tell that the BioWare team really, really focused this last week on making sure that this demo was going to run a whole lot better than last week's demo did. It was every single time I went into a load screen, pretty much it would lock up and I'd have to restart the game. And any of you that watched my live stream from last weekend know that it was very, very frustrating. And I ended up getting so frustrated that I ended up stopping the stream because I just couldn't play the game anymore. I couldn't go through loading the game, and then it puts you in a different spot. It just wasn't working right. This weekend, I can say that I did not run into any game crashes or any game locks. There were no freezing moments on loading screens. Matter of fact, the loading bar hadn't even finished loading, like sliding all the way across the screen, and I was already playing. So that was cool. That was great. I am so glad to see that they focused on that, getting that fixed. Now, some people reported that they were having a lot of lagging issues this weekend and the frame rates were horrible. I didn't notice a whole lot of that during my play this weekend. I did not play a ton, but I probably played 5-6 hours over the weekend. So basically, in Anthem, you can play one of 4 javelins, which are these exosuits that I'm showing here in the background. These are the 4 javelins that I've unlocked, one of each class: the Ranger, the Colossus, the Storm, and the Interceptor. Those are the 4 different exosuits that you can wear, and each one of them have very specific abilities and powers. The Colossus is the tank of the group. It doesn't have a generated shield around it like the other classes do, but it actually has a real shield that it can pull out and use. It's actually attached to the arm. So each class has its pros and cons. They are based after the classic role-playing genres that you might find in MMOs or actual like Dungeons and Dragons. You know, the Ranger is the Ranger class. It's kind of a mixed bag of different abilities and skills. The Interceptor is like your Thief class. The Storm is your Wizard class, and the Colossus is definitely your fighter or your tank in an MMO. And so they're all very cool to play. My favorite, well, I have 2 favorites really: the Ranger and the Storm. I don't know. I just dig those play styles, you know. So that's the beautiful thing, is that there is going to be an exosuit for any play style that you want. Do you want to be the agile, quick, you know, kind of a character? Go Interceptor. You want to throw the equivalent of spells? Go the Storm. You want to be the all-around kind of jack of all trades? Go the Ranger. You want to be the tank of the group? Go the Colossus. So they're all covered. Now let's talk about the actual gameplay. So there are 3 different things that you can do in the game that are going to earn you rewards and experience and coins and all of those things. That is free play, which is just roaming around the world, and there will be battles to do, and you know, little pockets of factions and stuff like that you got to take out. And there will be some free play, I'm doing air quotes here, bosses, some heavier enemies, some tougher enemies that you'll kind of have to group up with. Now, there is no true solo play in this game. Okay, so let's get that out of the way right now. There is no solo play. It is a third-person looter-shooter squad-based, which means it's you and 3 other people. Now, if you want it to be 3 of your friends, awesome. If you don't have 3 friends that are playing at the time or something like that, it will do matchmaking with you to put you with people that are looking for the same difficulty and are roughly around the same level. So, and there are multiple, there's like Grandmaster rank 3. Now, you have to unlock that difficulty. And honestly, the difficulties to me, there's no nuance to it. It's when you go from normal to hard, it's a 300% increase in damage and defense on the enemies. So they hit harder and they are harder to take down. That's it. There's no more nuance than that. And you step from hard into the next level, and the percentages keep going up and up and up. So basically, it's just the world is harder. Everything is more bullet spongy or skill spongy. So free play is one way to play the game, and I've done a couple hours of free play, and I really enjoy it. The world seems kind of empty right now, and we have been assured by BioWare that there will be more to the world once we get into the actual game. That they didn't want to overpopulate. Again, this is a demo. It's not a full playthrough. It's not even a full beta at this point. I'm sure they're doing beta testing because they're less than a month away from launching the game, but the demo really isn't a beta. You're limited in where you could go. You're limited in the levels that you could achieve. So it's very much, hey, here's a version of the game. It's a light version of the game. Go play it. So understand that. Okay, so we've talked about free play roaming around the world. Then you have the missions. Different people in Fort Tarsus, which is your home base essentially, are going to have missions for you. And it's going to be a storyline arc. And I'm sure they'll kind of interweave different maybe factions or different groups or different people at Fort Tarsus are going to be giving you different missions to kind of carry you through the game. And those are going to be go there, get this, go there, destroy that, those kinds of things. And then you have the strongholds. The strongholds are specific points. They're not mission-based. They are just out there. You can play one stronghold in the demo, and it was called Weapon Tyrant or something like that. Anyway, basically, when you do the stronghold mission, it automatically takes you to that location and you work your way through. It's a dungeon crawl is what it is. That's exactly what the strongholds are. They are a dungeon crawl. Now, here's some of the issue that I have with Anthem as it's going to launch. There are, of course, there's the mission line, which we don't know how intense that's going to be, how extensive that's going to be. But here's my problem. There are only 3 strongholds in the game at launch. And as a looter shooter, it means a lot of grinding in the same 3 strongholds to get better gear, get better seals, or, better, equipment or, skills, all those things. There are only 3 strongholds at game launch. So that's kind of a down, that's a very much a downer for me, in that there isn't a lot more variety from the get-go. I mean, if I could run the circuit of 5 or 6 different strongholds, it wouldn't necessarily get as boring as quickly as 3 strongholds will, because it's going to be the same enemies in there. Now, you may do it on different difficulties, just means that they're going to be more spongy and hit harder, but it's going to be the same enemies in the stronghold every time you go through it. The pattern isn't going to change. The only thing with higher difficulty is that you have a better chance of getting better gear. That's it. So, okay, we've talked about the gameplay mechanics. We've talked about what Anthem is. And now we're going to kind of just talk about my feelings on the game and how I'm going to approach this game. So, Anthem is, this is very different from BioWare. I hope that it does well enough. Anthem, I'm not a big looter shooter guy. Was the game fun? Yes. It was absolutely... I had a blast all 6 hours. Forgetting about, more hours, but forgetting about the demo weekend where it all locked up. That was a technical issue that they've worked out. Was the game fun? It absolutely was. Would I spend $60 or $80 on this game? No, I would not. Hold on, let me clarify. They have said that all future DLC will be free because there are microtransactions for buying vinyls and other things. They have said no pay to win, but you can buy essentially paint skins and preset vinyls for your javelins. And I did not see anything else that would be to mention anyway. So there are going to be microtransactions, but they're not going to be loot boxes. So EA, apparently after Battlefront 2, they've kind of unsunk their teeth, so no loot boxes, but there are going to be microtransactions. They have said that there is no season pass. This game will be pay one price, get all future content. So I hope the game does well enough. And the reason I say that is because I want BioWare to make the next Dragon Age. I want BioWare to go back and make a Mass Effect that is worthy of the BioWare name. They have some incredible franchises under their belt, and they need to refocus on that. They've said that Anthem is going to be a 10-year project. I don't see that happening. There is no PvP. It is only PvE. Now, they may come out with PvP at some later time, but you know what? I'm having the same problem with Anthem, and it was one of the issues that I was going to have with 76, is that eventually it's just, for me, it's going to get boring. And that's my take on it. You might be a total looter shooter, and this is right up your alley. So I would never dissuade anyone. This is not a terrible game by any stretch of the imagination. If and when the price comes down, I'll probably pick it up. Because it is a fun game. It's something that I can get lost in for an hour or two on a day and be okay with that. But spending, 6, 7, 8 hours in a game like I would if it were like a traditional RPG or something like that, that is not going to happen for me. This may be right up your alley though. So, and if it is, you know what? Awesome. Go get the game. You'll really enjoy this game. The differences in the javelins is awesome. They are all very, very different, and you will definitely find one that suits your playstyle. So if this is your bag, get it. Get the game. You got big thumbs up from me in that regard. But for me, I'm not a huge looter shooter guy. So I will pick up this game when it gets a little bit cheaper. And that's pretty much where I stand on the game. I mean, I didn't see anything that was too... I saw nothing that was going to say, okay, you know what, no, I don't want to do that. But I want this to do well enough for BioWare so that EA is happy. But I also want BioWare to get back to what they're really, really good at. I will say this, that visually, graphically, this game is gorgeous. I cannot wait to see how they bring the visual stunningness that is this game into other games like Mass Effect and games like Dragon Age. The next Dragon Age, which they've already kind of hinted at already. There's no actual teaser trailer, nothing graphically to look at, but they have teased at the next Dragon Age. I think would look phenomenal with these graphics. I can't wait to see that. So that has me hyped to see that they are at least moving forward graphically. And of course that has to do with the Frostbite engine too. So good on them for that. So that is going to wrap it up for my thoughts on Anthem. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, smash that subscribe button, click the bell notification icon, and hopefully that'll work for you so that you get notified the next time. And you know what? You could also follow me on, you could join me on my Discord page every time I post a video. Even if you don't get a notification from YouTube, it will show up on my Discord page or my Discord channel so that you will see that, hey, look at that, Draco posted a new video. So this, I'm starting to expand out my channel even more. So there's going to be a lot more of this over the coming year, so get ready for that. I'm going to be breaking out of video games here in short order. I'm just trying to work on the proper platform and stuff like that. There are other things that I want to get into, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing it absolutely correct. So if you have any thoughts or suggestions on what you would like to see on my channel moving forward, think the realm of nerd, not the realm of video games. Because there are lots of things out there, you know, movies, all kinds of stuff. So if you have any great ideas, something that you would like me to do or see me do, then hit me up down in the comment section below. Of course, you can always leave a message or a chat in my Discord or on my Facebook page or even on Twitter. So there are multiple ways to get a hold of me. All of those are down in the description down below. If you like what I'm doing and would like to help support this channel, check out the donation pages down below. I am working on revamping my Patreon right now. So if there are things that you would like to see, hey, I would donate, you know, X dollars a month if you could do this, then let me know, because I'm open to suggestions. I want this community to be fulfilling for you guys. So until next time, freelancers and draconians, you take care of yourselves out there. This is Draco Invictus saying this has been the greatest day of my life. See ya!